Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Monday. So happy you're here. All right. So for science this week, Mrs. Heller is going to be talking about snow. So I thought we could read a book. It's one of my favorites called The Mitten. Okay, it's got a snow theme to it. And then if you check out in Miss Summer's room where it says word work, she has your sight word review from last week, and there's some mittens on there, and you can do like a nice little fun game reading it and trying to find a mouse. So I'm going to read the story, The Mitten. Some of you might have heard it already, and some of you might have read a different version of it on Raz Kids, maybe like a smaller version. But here is The Mitten. Okay, and today we're going to take time throughout the book to make predictions. Do you remember that big word, predictions? When we say we predict? Right, when you take a guess of what you think is going to happen next. Right? We talked about how lots of people predict the weather, or you predict what could happen tomorrow. So we're going to make predictions in our story. This is like another review for us. Okay. So The Mitten. Now, adapted and illustrated by Jan Brett. So this story, I think, was written by other authors, but this person, Jan, she wrote it this way and she drew it this way with her version of it. Okay, so it's The Mitten. Oh, and that's why I'm in a mitten when you clicked on me to get here. All right, so this story is pretty cool. It has the really details here. And then sometimes on the side, they might give you an idea of what's going to happen next. So I'll try to show you all of that, okay? So once there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. At first, his grandmother did not want to knit the white mittens. If you drop one in the snow, she warned, you'll never find it. But Nicky wanted snow white mittens, and finally, his grandma made them. So you think about it. Oh, I actually have a white glove right here, but it has this little gray on it. So if I do drop it in the snow, in that white snow, I'll still be able to see it. But yeah, here's my white actual glove right there. So he's like, no, I want a white mitten. And she's like, okay. After she finished, she said, when you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound, but then I will look to see if you still have your snow white mittens. All right, so remember I kind of said the edges of this story. The next one over here kind of gives you like a little of what is going to happen next. So there's an animal in that picture right there. And it's almost like you can kind of predict with it. You're like, okay, I think something's going to happen with this mole right here. I think he's a mole in this story. So it's like our little prediction preview over here. Okay. So off Nicky went, and it wasn't long until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. So there he is. And you can, it's really hard to see, but there it is, that white mitten. He dropped it. Okay. Man, he didn't get far at all. Boom, he dropped his mitten. A mole tired from tunneling along. So it was a mole. It's right there. Discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. Now, burrowed means kind of like scooch on in. Okay, he burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size, so he decided to stay. So there's Nicky. There's a character. He's looking for maybe his mitten. And there he dropped it. It's hard to see, but there's that mole right there. It's really tiny. Oh, okay. So right here, remember I told you it's like our little prediction preview right here? What do you think is going to happen next? Yeah, something with a rabbit, right? Maybe the rabbit's going to come on hopping by, right? Yeah, totally. There's that snow white rabbit. A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw the mitten, and he wiggled in, feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. He was like, yikes, you're coming in feet first. Ah, right? Get out of there. So here is Nicky still looking. And there they are, the mole and the rabbit squished into the mitten. Uh-oh. What's going to happen next? What do you think? First, do you know what animal that is? Yeah, like a porcupine or a hedgehog, I think, yeah. And look, right? What's going to happen next? So far we had the mole run into the mitten and the rabbit. Yeah, maybe the porcupine's going to go into the mitten. Oh, it's a hedgehog. So next, a hedgehog came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into a mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled. That means kind of like moved around. But not being ones to argue with someone covered with pricklies, they made room. That's good to know. Okay, so the hedgehog's covered in pricklies. You know what pricklies are? Like the pointy things that are all over him? Yeah, so the rabbit and mole were like, we're not complaining. Come right in. It's kind of hurt though. Yikes. So maybe Nikki's looking for the mitten. And then look, what do you think is going to happen next? What's your prediction? Yeah, maybe the owl is going to go to trying to get him by, right? I don't really know why an owl, who's a bird, is going to want to scooch in with them, but hey, I think that might happen. Sure enough, as soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, that's a big mitten. It's really getting stretched. A big owl, attracted by the commotion's kind of like loud noises, swooped down. When he decided to move in, also the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. But when they saw that owl's talons, its like feet, those claws, they quickly let him in. They were like, we're not arguing with him. He wants to get in here. He could probably attack us, so we're going to let him in. But I don't know how there's room. That's got to be enough, right? Can you see what's going to happen next? Oh, there's this animal right here. It's hard to see. Yeah, I don't really know what that is. What do you think is going to happen next, though, if you had to guess? Yeah, I think that animal, whatever it is, I hope it's not a skunk. Could it be a skunk? Ooh, no. But whatever that is, I think it's going to try to squish its way into that mitten, too. Oh, it's not a skunk. Okay. Up through the snow appeared a badger. That's what this is called, a badger. I thought it was a skunk because of the colors. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left, but when they saw his diggers, they gave him the thumbs up, like, okay, sure, come on in. Poor the mole. He's like, this is my mitten. I found it first. You guys are all squishing in here. Oh, okay, so on this side, what do you see right there? Yeah, fox. Maybe a fox is looking at Nikki, and then look what happens on our prediction page preview. Yeah, I think a fox too. I think our prediction is I think a fox is going to try to squish his hair. Okay. This is how big a mitten is, right? How in the world are they all squishing in here? And why is it comfortable, right? But it is very soft. But could you imagine, right? This is definitely make believe here, right? And all these animals trying to squish on in a mitten. Oh boy, there's the fox. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotting by stopped to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. Drowsy is another word for like really tired. So you could say, oh, I'm feeling drowsy. The fox poked his muzzle in. That's kind of like his nose. When the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. They are like, yeah, come on in, totally, right? Because you have shiny teeth, you might bite us. You can come on in, come on in. I almost turned the page without showing you the prediction preview. Do you know what that is? Yeah, that's a bear. How in the world is a bear going to fit in there? That's not a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea. That's what you predict too, right? That the bear's going to try to come in. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. A great bear lumbered by, kind of like walked slowly by. He spied the mitten all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in. Dude, what are you thinking? The animals were packed in as tightly as could be, but what animal would argue with a bear? That's true. Every time there's been a new animal in, it's been one that it was a little bit bigger or a little bit more scary or with more teeth or ways to attack each one, right? So they're like, oh yeah, we're not saying no to you. None of the animals in there are going to say no to that bear. No way. The mitten swelled and stretched. It was pulled and bulged so many times its size, but grandmom's good knitting held fast. So that meant it held on, that knitting, right? What do you think the preview is here? Do you see what's the preview here? Yeah, it's a little mouse. Surely a little mouse can fit in there, right? Yeah. I mean, are we just going to keep going and going and going with the story? More animals, more winter animals are going to come in here? What do you think is going to happen with this mouse? Now, some of you might have read it already, and you might know. But if you didn't, what do you think? Yeah, you think the mouse is just going to cozy on in and they're going to be one big happy family? Maybe. Maybe, oh, did someone say maybe the mice is going to start eating it? Oh, I don't know. Mice eat, they kind of chew on something. So here comes a little mouse. Let's see what's going to happen. Here's our prediction. Along came a mouse, no bigger than an acorn. Oh, that's really small. That's like this big. It's like the size of my hand sanitizer here. She wiggled into the one space left and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. Aw, look at it right there. Okay. What's happening here? Oh, okay. Maybe Nikki didn't know his mitten has been missing this whole time. Now he's just realizing it, maybe. Or maybe he's kind of just frustrated he can't find it. So I'm not sure. But yeah, he now is really worried about that other mitten, right? Little does he know. The whole forest of animals are squished into that mitten. All right, what's going to happen next? No! Oh my goodness! What's going on here? Oh my goodness. Okay, the bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. Oh, I didn't see this coming. Did anyone else see this coming when you're predicting? I did not see this coming. Ah, 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 choo! The force of the sneeze shut the men up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. Oh my goodness. They were so tightly in there. That bear sneeze just. Now, did the mitten? Oh, the mitten just shot up in the sky. I don't think the mitten came undone, though. Oh, no, it didn't. Okay. Oh, look at them. They're like, oh, man, we lost our mitten. Oh, more animals that are kind of just in the snow, missing their mitten. But there it is. On his way home, Nicky saw a white shape in the distance. It was the lost mitten silhouette against the blue sky. So the silhouette's almost like a shadow there, an outline of it. Oh, what luck, right? The animals all fell out of the mitten and shot up into the sky with all that force. And Nikki's like, oh, there's my mitten. Do you think the boy has any idea that all those animals were in that? I don't think so either, because he couldn't find them. He couldn't see them either. All right, there he is. He's catching it. As he ran to catch his snow white mitten, he saw Grandma's face in the window. First, she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his new mittens. Oh, I think they're finding other here. Looks like they might be finding other places to get snug and warm. And the owl and the fox are going there too. Okay, look at the mitten. Okay, there's no words on this picture. What do you think is going on here? Yeah. Yeah, Grandma might be like, Nikki, why is one mitten normal size? And why is one so stretched out? This can't fit on you anymore. And Nikki's probably like, I don't know, right? Little did he know, all the animals in the forest were squished into there. I wonder if it smells. Probably have to wash it. But there it is. The grandma's gonna be like, what happened? I'm gonna make you a new mitten. There it is. The end. So I'm saying, could you imagine all the animals fitting into here? And it'd be so stretched out. My goodness, I feel like it'd be like the size of this room almost. Okay, thanks for making predictions with me. I love making predictions. And remember, making predictions are kind of just fun ways to stay connected with your story. Sometimes you're right. Sometimes you're wrong. That's okay. It's just fun to feel connected with your story and just kind of figure out what you think is going to happen next. Like I had no idea that mouse was going to, I thought the mouse was just going to be okay in there. I didn't know it was going to tickle the bear's nose and just, right? Okay, so today, I have news stories down. If you click on that library, I know it looks like it's snowing in my room, but you can still click that that bookshelf, right? On the bottom of the smartboard in my room. And there's news stories for the week in there, more read alouds. You can listen to me. And there's some books on your level that you can try reading as well. Okay, but also try to read something at home, make predictions, or read something on Raz Kids. Try to stop and think, what do you think is going to happen next? All right. I hope you have a great day. Make sure you check out all the other teachers' classrooms. They have lots to teach you today. And I'm so happy you're here with us. Bye.